It is December the 7th.
No, I'm not a writer.
2016. I'm Dana, your host, the nuclear proctologist.org. We are here to bash the shit out of the nuclear industry. Because, hey, that's gotta be trendy, and we wanna be trendy. Oh, yeah. And trendy brings the weight to everybody's shoulders. Oh, you gotta be trendy. Ooh. Look at the lie. Think about what an amazing, disgusting, pathetic world we are when we believe the lie, and think about how disgusting the liars actually are when the buildings are supposed to be 190 feet. And we were lucky that the world is connected and we can see for ourselves how bad and terrible and vicious and maniacal and twisted their little paradigm is. Their little insignificant rock that they're gonna crawl back under soon enough really truly is. Yeah. Okay, time to get serious. Dina. Well, I'm gonna tell you a story that you're probably gonna have to believe. Because the truth is literally your salvation. How can you have a 190-foot building and now I got pictures of what these 19-story buildings comparison will look like coming up, and it's gonna be bang, bang, bang today. But I'm gonna come back, turn that down, come back, and we're gonna have a quick chat. Pop back in here. What you're looking at is Lume Cube. And Lume Cube is cutting edge. Comes with filters for lighting. It's designed specifically for lighting. You can control them with your smartphones. Give them all different. You got little tags, different colored tags you can put on them. Calibrate them to your smartphone. They're 1,500 looms. So you're talking about an enormous amount of power. And their lithium-ion batteries are good for about 2 hours at full power. They have 10 automatic settings, etc., etc. And I need 8 of those. And because right now I'm using handmade lights. And I'm just tired of always trying to do a green screen. It's so friggin' hard. Every single scene that I try to do, I gotta play with that friggin' green screen. So I'm gonna redo my green screen. I wanna raise $100. You can donate under the video. I'm gonna go out and buy it today and do it. And I don't have the money to do it. But I'm gonna go do it. This is money for bills for my home. But I have to do it because I'm just burnt out friggin' with this. And I need these lights because what happens is there's major feedback audio with these lights. You can actually hear it if you hold it up. This whining pitch. And if you turn all the lights off, then my audio is almost perfect. These are wireless. They won't interfere with the circuit of the house where everything else is plugged in. And they're proper lights, and I won't have to struggle. You can't see because it's green, but it's the right color. It's 35 feet by 4 feet of fabric. Right now I'm using 8 feet. And so I'm gonna go match up the paint to match that color and redo my walls and ceiling here. And that'll take a lot of weight off me. But these lights, And so $299 is 12% sale taxes and shipping. So $150 would be an extra $80, $18, I guess, for taxes and then shipping, right? And we got to have these lights to make just to free me up more so than, no, not really. It's to be able to do the job proper with the proper lights. And then you're not running around turning everything off every time you're going to walk outdoors because you're afraid they're going to catch fire. Because they're all handmade. They're all different looking too, but they all got little dimmer switches on it. It's just, I think it's been like $6 on each one altogether. I got all the lights secondhand. My jacket was $5, my shirts are $3, my pants are $3. My screen is hideous. Let's have a look at my green screen before we go back into the headlines. And so that looks pretty good, yeah? But it's not. This is the problem. It doesn't do it justice because it's such a shitty camera, but that's the whole point, is I have to struggle. I can bring myself over. You would see it better, but let's fix that. And then we get back into the story. Right, and you can see the chair and me will fade out, and then the top corner will light up. And so if I leave me half decent, everything else lights up. And so let's do it again. Stop that. There we go. I'll be ready in a second. My apologies to anybody. So burnt out from being in court again. What is this now? 2 years wrecking my life. Like 3 years probation. In the court yesterday. Okay, so 80-foot high building versus 190-foot high reactors. So think about how shitty that music was. We'll go back to something else. Here we go. Let's keep moving. Got a lot to get through. Hello to everybody in the chat room. Morning, good everybody. I'll bring you up. Now, I can get you to come up on this screen, but I can't get you on that screen. That means I'll have to play with it. I should be able to work it out from here anyway. In the next few days, hopefully. Reactor 3 is 190-foot high, 150-foot wide. There's Reactor 3 again. So Reactor 3, 190-foot high, that's to the very roof, and 150 feet wide. The basement is 60 feet. So the detonation looks like it's 700, 800, 900 feet straight up. Morning, everybody. Albert, Elaine, Liz, fix it. Hello, everybody. Ellie, Thirst is out there. Will be later. Peter, Illusion, Billy. Hey, buddy. Thanks, man. A couple of weeks ago. You're right. That was a good time. And everybody else that managed to donate a few dollars over the last couple of weeks, and it was huge. I'm under so much stress, unbelievable stress with what they've done to me and what we done, and trying to tell the story of Fukushima. And we got to come out, and I have to work harder all the time, obviously. This is a 13-story building. Good morning, everybody. We'll get that working at some point. This is a 13-story building behind me. The reactors, they would bring up transport trucks up to the roof, right? Do you think they're going to bring a transport truck up to that roof? When you think about a 13-story building, that's still small. Those buildings are the reactors are 19 stories. These are 190 foot high. But their stories are different than apartment buildings. Chernobyl built that because the building was still mostly intact. That's why it's so big and so high, yeah? And so Chernobyl built this sarcophagus. They didn't do that for Fukushima because it was full meltdowns with 5 reactor cores up in the pools. The pools are up high. The top of the pools are 100 feet in the air. Well, not there, but normally they would be 100 feet in the air, but they claim they're there. Now that's reactor 4. Just double checking everything. Reactor 4 is the same thing, 150 wide and 190 feet high. Reactor 3 was 190 feet high, 150 foot wide. And these buildings, if they lose power for a few hours,
if they lose power to those to that reactor or to any other reactors past a few hours from now, you might reach a 3
mile island. Let's make sure I ran through because we got a lot there. But okay, so inside behind me, now these people there, they're dead. But the building behind me is supposed to be in that building over there, Unit 4, all in the top of them. That's where the reactor cores is.
We are here inside Reactor 4 at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant that was severely crippled during the earthquake and tsunami of 2011, leading to the country's worst nuclear disaster.
Now, do you think she's actually in that building over there where those dead people are looking at?
The old TEPCO video. And Tokyo Electric had gone into the Unit 3.
Now, that's Unit 3 behind me. And that's the alleged fuel pool that they're talking about.
3 fuel pool just once. You remember?
Now, if you went in there, you died. You died.
That Unit 3 is the reactor that's blown to smithereens. The video
shows a detonation, and then there's no way there's anything left because we got the documentation. That's Reactor 3 over there. This is 110-foot high, 11-story apartment building, the top of it.
And you can see that there are other structures. Particularly important probably is to notice that the spent fuel is stored in the upper regions of this building, and the refueling implies that the fuel will have to go from the core up and then down into this pool.
So the top of the pools are 100 feet up. Now, Arnie actually is an engineer. He knows that he worked on these reactors before, right? He knows this is not in that building over there, but anyway.
The Unit 4 was damaged twice. It was damaged by all of the earthquakes that occurred, and it was also damaged by a series of explosions over the first week or two of the accident. So the building is structurally weakened. Now, Tokyo Electric's acknowledged that. They went in May and June of last year. This is more than a year ago.
Now, you cannot get in the building. It's impossible. You die just trying to get in there. You won't get in there. You will never get in there. That's why they built that sarcophagus over Chernobyl. More on that coming up.
And put an enormous number of extra structural supports directly under the fuel pool.
There is no fuel pool, obviously, because it's 100 feet in the air. You see the red ones up in the top right-hand corner? That's the fuel pools. Remember, it's a 190-foot building. Claiming that TEPCO was underneath it when he's an engineer and knew better, or whatever. Who cares, right? There's so many lawyers out there, it doesn't matter, does it?
To keep the bottom of the pool from breaking through.
Yeah. So there's the pool he's talking about. That's the official pictures.
1,500 highly radioactive fuel rods inside this pool. They've got to move them outside of this reactor into a safer location. It is.
Now look at the roof, look at the ceiling, look at the walls, look at the lights, look at the power, look at the equipment, look at the people in there. Do you really, really, truly believe for 1 second that that's real?
And especially...
There's Reactor 3 to your left.
Building 3 is very fragile. It's still got a huge cooling pool on its roof, protected by nothing. The molten core has melted its way down onto the concrete of the containment vessel, but maybe into the earth. And if that collapsed, there would be a nuclear inferno.
Well, it's collapsed. It was an inferno. Listen to these people.
Not near Baghdad. Don't believe them. They are nowhere. This is...
Except some people do it one microphone at a time, right? So do you think the pool on your left is there? If you do, then I don't know what to say to you, but if you understand something as simple as looking at the pictures, if you can wrap your mind around that, if that's not too difficult, if that doesn't keep you up all night trying to work out what I was talking about, then we're kind of working on the same wave. But if you can't say, okay, well, there's something wrong.
Building 4 is also similarly fragile, and it's got a huge cooling pool on top with all its fuel rods, but they have been removing them. And it's been a very delicate procedure, and they've removed almost all. So if that collapsed now, I think it would probably be okay.
That's Unit 4 before they dressed it up. But look at the size, the guts hanging out. Look what's left at the ceiling. More
So this is really why we've been brought here. Where I'm standing is on top of what used to be reactor building number 4. The whole of this building was blown apart by a huge explosion after the tsunami disaster.
Okay, if it was all blown apart by a huge explosion, what the fuck are you doing there, Rupert? Sorry.
But down inside this pool behind me here is still a vast amount of
So why not explain how that
nuclear fuel.
happens?
You can see it down there beneath the water.
Idiot. So he's saying, right then, he's up there, looking down at that, to the left. He's in the right, 100 feet in the air, talking to you, and he's in the building on the left. They're the same buildings is what he's telling you.
And the tops of these pools are 100 feet above ground.
And so here's TEPCO going to remove the fuel rods, what they're talking about. How will the rods be removed and what will happen? This is TEPCO's picture to the left, but that's TEPCO's picture to the right.
They're taking us to Reactor 4.
They're taking them to the building on the right. They're both the same, one on the left, one on the right.
They're taking us to Reactor 4. It was offline when the tsunami hit, but a powerful hydrogen explosion left the nuclear fuel here in a very precarious situation. They've now succeeded in moving it to a secure location.
Yeah?
On one side is the reactor, and on the other is the pool where we removed 1,500 spent fuel assemblies. It took about a year to do it.
Yeah, I bet. You should head on down to Chernobyl. You wouldn't have to build that stupid-looking sarcophagus every 30 years for the next 3,000 years, maybe, huh? No, Dana. Doesn't work that way, Dana. Russian scientists are not smart enough to do it. They gotta build a sarcophagus to hide that little tiny pile. Hell on earth. Yeah, they gotta build this great big building for that little pile. Did you see what happened to Fukushima? Were you paying attention? You got graveyards of helicopters and tanks because of that little pile. You got 3 million children and then graveyards of them and tanks and helicopters because of little pile. And you got big plumes all over Europe, North America, and everywhere else because of a pile. And you got to get up on the roof for 15 seconds with other graveyards because of a pile. And you got to make your own suits because there's a pile. You got to get up in the helicopter because there's a pile of uranium. But hey, Chernobyl only resulted in 1 million deaths. Fukushima is hell on earth, man. Fukushima is it's bad. This is as bad as it can get. Think about it. Look at the 4 sides. Well, that's the water side. Both of those pictures. No, that's 1, 2 sides. That's right. That's all 4 sides right now. There you go. All 4 sides. I got to put 4 of them together in one big picture for everybody. I'm staying out of the frame as much as I can in case anybody wants to take screen captures. Okay. Here we go. Next. Oh, those other ones didn't show up. I'm going to have to go re-import them. Hang on. It takes a second. Could have gave you music while you were waiting, Dina. I'll get it. That's because my computer crashed just before we went live. Hang on. It's worth it. We wanted to look at the 19-story buildings too. They all managed to disappear. Right there. Oh. Yummy. 19-story buildings. So you can see a blanket on my door over there because it reflects light. Let me fix that. There's something missing besides my head. Get my mug out of the way. Bastards, man. Distraction. Here we go. Let's get some crappy music in there. Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. So that's a 190-foot building and a 190-foot reactor. I can't tell the difference. Can you tell the difference? I can't tell the difference. Is there a difference? Well, some people might say there's a difference. Okay, keep going. Try being friggin' serious, Dina. I'm sorry. Tell it to that guy before you say something to me, okay? Okay, here we go. We left off there, and we're over here. That's reactor 3. That's a big, what's left? That's 150 feet by 150 feet by 150 feet to your left. And the one on the right, I'm not sure. Probably close to it. Probably more than that, actually. 190 foot high, 19-story, 100 on both of them. So in comparison, when you really try to look at it, like 190 foot yeah? Do I need to say anything while I'm doing this at this stage? I wonder. 190 foot, 190 foot. Which one would you rather live in? 190 foot on your right or the 100? Which roof would you rather fall off? The one on the left or the one on the right? Which one would you rather fall off? The one on the left or the one on the right? I know what you, but they're going to throw me off a roof. I'd rather be on the left. Probably not that left, but anyone that looks like that one on the left without the other stuff. You know what I mean? Kind of. So it's kind of hard to quantify the scientists when they say, oh, there's fuel pools on the friggin' roof. Dana. Whatever. I don't care. Whatever. Go back to sleep and go put out the lawyers all you want. I don't care. And fill your boots up, whatever. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to respect anybody that does. And anybody that can't look at these pictures and work out what happened and who the lawyers are, then you're a lawyer too. Simple as that. You have no interest in the truth. You never did. There's so many of them. So many of them have infiltrated the movement. There's probably more of them than there is of us. And we weeded them out over the last 3 years pretty heavily. Culling the crop, so to speak. Getting rid of the slags, the crazies, the chicken necks. So when you look at the buildings, what are you seeing? You know, come on, folks. Okay, well, that's probably it for today. Such a hard day yesterday. Gonna run to town, match up the color of that fabric. You can donate at thenuclearproctologist.org with your credit cards, and you can do it by PayPal. Links are below my videos. Links are below the videos. We want to get those Lume Cubes, frick is a clue, Dana? What else you talking about? We bought $500 worth of tools last week. And it's snowed here ever since. And we bought a filter for the stove, oil stove on the boat, and we bought a searchlight. It was $50 for the insert. Hard cases last week. And we burnt up our money on tools mostly because got to have the tools. They stole everything off the boat, right? When we were down in court last month. What was the number again? I forget. It was 15 hotel rooms, 15 ferries. We took the boat down with us, got everything stolen out of it during trial. For $5,000. I still got no VHF radio, still got no life jackets. I did fill the boat up last week, though, because rather than have an empty boat sitting there, I can't respond to anything. I never filled it all the way up. To fill up all my tanks is 1,100 liters. I spent 165 counting the diesel for the stove, and then the stove wouldn't work, so filters. So these, the proper green screen wouldn't be too much money, like $700 or $800 to do the whole green screen thing, but there's no end to this of equipment that I need. I need real cameras, and the cheap ones that I'm going to get are probably $1,600, $1,800. There's no sense spending money till I've got enough money coming in to be able to do it and stuck with these shitty cameras. But the green screen and the fabric is going to really allow me to up my game huge. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that in the hopes I can raise at least 100. And then anything else coming in, we'll put out a tally if we got to and get enough. And we need 8 of those quad cube. 8. By rights, I want 12. And I'm not going to try to raise the money for 12. But if I did, I will buy 12 of those lights before I spend any money on anything else besides the green screen. I can't keep burning myself out. I got to solve that problem so I can be productive and effective. And come over and say goodnight and hugs for everybody. Liz, Illusion, Ellie, hello everybody. Tough times, I know. Albert, you gotta stand their ground. Peter, it's gonna get better. We're not always gonna struggle. We're not always gonna have to sacrifice. We're not gonna have to always hope. I'm going to be hope. I don't want to be it, but I don't see the other options existing. And so I'm in and all out. All the court cases are over till they ding me again. And so I got to get effective. I got to be smart. I got to keep pushing, shoving, kicking, screaming, yelling, whatever it is, being articulated, showing the documentation. That's what we got left. In the hopes that this world rallies, that the world fights for its survival, that it makes its last stand with dignity, that it has a moral compass, I'm sure of it. There's a lighthouse here. I'll be beaming out hard all the time. Hugs for everyone.